Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. It is Focus Friday. I am excited to be back home, back in my little studio instead of in that hotel room. And I am focused on wrapping up this week well and having one more time where you and I can connect and talk about the things that are important, get ourselves prepared for this day so that we manage it well, that we are in the right mindset, that we are clear about what we intend to do with this day, and that we take the steps to actually do those things. If we're doing that, we're going to have not only a great day, a great week, but in general, a great life. And that's exciting to me. There is no place like home. No place like home. As beautiful as DC is, and as much as there was to see and do, I am grateful for those experiences. And but there's something like that last day when you know things are wrapping up and you're headed back home and you have the opportunity to get back to the familiar. I think it's important to step out of that familiar because it makes you appreciate it, right? When I'm at home, I'm thinking about all the projects, the areas I want to organize, the things I want to do. And sometimes we forget, what home is and what it means, the comfort that it gives. You look around and you see things that you personally picked out. So your personality, your aesthetic is all around you. Your family's there, friends and family nearby. You can get back into your routine, but I'm in it with a new appreciation. It's not like I don't travel fairly often, but for whatever reason, maybe it was because we were really able to still did lean in and have the show every day. I thought a couple days I was going to have to do some replays, but I shifted my schedule around so that we could still have our time together. And I think just thinking about being a little uncomfortable in that room because I didn't have good back support. My chair has a massager on it. I have a little massaging system under my desk so I can turn it on and get some massaging and heat to the feet whenever I want to, and just being in the space that I designed for me to do what it is that I do in comfort and in peace. Today I'm just a little bit more grateful for that place than I was, and that's coming from someone who practices gratitude. But I think that's why we talk about the things that we talk about so often. Every day of the week, we're covering the same topics, but we're covering it from a different perspective. And we introduced themes recently. And you guys know that our theme for this week is visualization. When I tell y'all that I visualize myself at home, I visualize myself under the covers. I had my new headset waiting for me when I got back. So even though it was about 1 o'clock in the morning when I got finally to my house, um, I still took the time to set up my office because I had my laptop. I've got a microphone here, the camera, all those things I packed up and took with me. And I knew going to bed at almost 2 and having to get up at a little bit after six, around 6:30, that I may not be at my sharpest, or I may forget little things, or I'd be really rushed if I tried to put my system back together this morning. So I was focused. I was already focused on setting myself up for success and doing the things that needed to be done so that I was prepared. That's what focus does for you. It gives you a clarity in the back of my mind. That bed was calling. But in the present moment, the most important thing for me to do was to be prepared for today so that I was able to start my day off well. So I took a little extra time. I set up both laptops. I got the microphone out. Cords are all where they're supposed to be. And I even set up the new headset that was waiting for me when I got here. I wasn't sure that I was going to use it, but I at least wanted to get it charged and be able to practice using it later. Well, my laptop had a different idea because I had plugged the dongle in. the rest of my speaker was gone. The speaker that's associated with the laptop, the one that's built in, I couldn't find it to save my life. It just would not come up as an option. So I had to quickly figure out how to use this headset. But because everything was set up last night, it's all right here in front of me. I even had a chance for a little bit of a massage before the day started. Preparation, focus, knowing what, being really clear about what it is that you want to accomplish and putting the things in place to aid you in being successful, getting out the distractions and bringing in the things that help you focus and move towards the goals. That's what last night was all about. And it paid off in dividends this morning, right? I'm prepared. I hear you all well. There's a little bit less noise in the background than usual. And I have my lights. I have all the things that are comfortable to me, and I would have been struggling this morning had I not been focused last night and getting myself prepared. There's nothing like it. Don't take focus for granted. Don't allow it to be a thing that you talk about. It's something that you can implement right here, right now, and something you can call on at any given time. When the thoughts are racing, when there's a lot of different things that are vying for your attention, it's time to step back for a moment. It's time to step back and to determine what is it that's the most impactful, the most important thing for me to do right now, and give your energy over to that thing. You'll do it well, you'll be efficient, it'll get done faster, and then the next thing will be waiting for you. You ask yourself the same question again. What's the most impactful thing that I can do? What's the most important thing for me to focus on at this moment? And then you do that. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I'm a little bit of a routine head. I like my routine. I like my environment set up a certain way. It gives me the comfort I need. Environment is important. Can you imagine not being able to really see me? You guys know what it's like when the tech is giving us trouble and you can't really hear us. Sometimes we're crackly or too low or there's noise in the background. Those types of things are distractions. So the more I'm prepared and the more that I'm managing the distractions, the better experience we all have. So take the experience of my little podcast here and apply it to any part of your life. What do you have ahead of you for today? Are you prepared? Before you take that first step, what are the things that you need to do? Are you in the right environment? Do you have the right mindset, right? Are you focused on the solution or the goal that you're going to achieve? Or are you focused on all the obstacles? And as you focus on them, they're getting bigger and bigger and just weighing you down. Just shift your focus. The obstacles are going to be there, they're a part of life, right? But how much focus you give them and how much you allow them to hold you down and frustrate you is up to you. That is a decision that not only you can, but that you should make, right? I see you, mountain. You're gonna stand there being the mountain that you are, and I'm gonna get busy being a world-class mountain climber because I have stuff to do. And you take that first step, right? Now you're at the base of the mountain. You take that next step. Before you know it, you're standing at the peak and you're looking at the world from a completely different perspective. I took some great photos from the plane last night. You guys are going to start to see some of the videos and things that I share, some of the images and videos that I captured. Magnificent flight. Everything was lit. The sky was so dark and the ground was so lit up. And so many things were going through my mind. Soar was going through my mind. Standing out, what differentiates you? I would look down and all I would see was just little points of light because we were so high up that it was hard to differentiate one thing from the other. And we are so often like those lights. We're just in this sea of stuff, and it's hard to see one thing versus the other. But there's something in you that makes you so unique, There's something in you that although other people may do it, they may have that skill, but they don't have your experience. They don't have your mindset. They don't have your point of view. So they're not going to deliver it the same way that you deliver it, right? There are mindset coaches galore. Whatever it is that you can think of, there's coaches that are associated with it. I could go, why would I come into this space? There's coaches everywhere. The space is just inundated, it's saturated. There's really no room for anybody else. Or I can look at it and go, my biggest competition is those thoughts that I'm having right now. My biggest competition is my mindset and allowing myself to not be who I'm destined to be. I don't worry about the other mindset coaches. Some I'll collaborate with, some I'll learn from, learn what to do, learn what not to do. There, everybody has their point and their place, but I don't. But the competition is me, right? Am I focused on what I'm called to do? Am I focused on in expanding my abilities so that I do it better? Am I focused on getting rid of the things that are holding me back? Am I focused enough to weather that pacing period where I've put in the work and I'm going, 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 but I'm not quite seeing the fruits of my labor yet? That's a period where I can easily get overwhelmed and frustrated, but I'm being paced. I was thinking about pace last night. You can imagine at the airport, our first flight was delayed, and it taxied forever because they gave away our gate. So we had to just hang out for about half an hour on the tarmac until they had a gate ready for us. Well, guess what? The time was ticking, and we only had a little bit over an hour to catch our connecting flight, which was all the way on the other side of the airport. It was going to be tough to make it without a delay, but with that delay, it was hard. So all these thoughts are going through my mind. We're walking fast, fast, fast. My husband is actually injured. He's been working out and doing a lot of stuff, and he has a hernia now. And when he starts to do a lot of movement, it actually pops out and it makes it difficult for him to move. And so he's dealing with that. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's gone. And now we're dragging bags and rushing through an airport. What do we have to be careful with in that pruning period? We had to get rid of the frustration and any negative thoughts so that we could keep moving through. I remember hearing him say out loud, "This too shall pass." That's something that his passed down to him. I heard her say it a million times. If I heard her say it once, when something difficult was going on, she taught us this will pass. Nothing is forever. Things that you're struggling with, things that are giving you difficulty, they're not going to last. The damage from them will last if your focus and your mindset isn't right. But the situation itself is going to pass. And I heard him say it out loud, this too shall pass, and relax in his seat a little bit. So we race through the airport. So we're preparing, we're doing what we have to do to make that connecting flight. We've got the mindset made up. We're focusing on the outcome. We're not going to be focused on the fact that the plane was late in the first place, because that was only going to get in our way. That was only going to trip us up. So we're there, we're moving through. We get there and they changed the flight time. So we got there just in time to board, and they changed the flight time 3 times. So we ended up leaving a good hour and a half or so later than we intended. We already weren't going to get into Austin until getting close to a little bit after 11. Now it's going to be more like 12:30, 12 after a little bit after midnight when we get there. But guess what? This too shall pass. We were being paced. Then we get on the plane and we end up in a traffic jam on the tarmac. There was at least 3 or 4 planes in front of us. There was a little boy behind me. He was like, this is taking forever. Are we going to just roll home? It's going to take us 10 days to get there if we're going to go 2 miles an hour. And I couldn't help but to laugh hearing him in the background. But that was just like our inner voice. Those are the types of things that we're thinking, the things that we focus on, and it can make it such a frustrating experience. But I chose to focus on, we're on the plane. We're headed towards home. We're making our way, right? We're safe. The plane's moving. That's a good sign. Everybody's locked in. The right stuff is happening. It's just not happening on my schedule. I'm being paced. And then the plane just rolled for a good 20 minutes or so. Talk about pacing. And I kept thinking about when the plane taxis before takeoff, you don't just jump into propel, right? We taxied and we taxied, and then we take off a little bit faster down the runway, and then finally the plane lifted and we were soaring. And that's when I started to get a bunch of really beautiful nighttime aerial photos that I'll share with you guys. But I just used that time. And while I was on the plane, there was a meditation for sleep app that was available to us. I played it and I sat there and closed my eyes and let the time pass as peaceful thoughts were going through my head, right? Sometimes I'll watch a movie. That's good for a couple of hours off your trip, knocked off. By the time you get to the end of that movie, you're there. Mindset. I couldn't control the connection. I was very fortunate. My travel agency, no, because I was traveling for business. So the company has an agency that we book everything through. They messaged me and said, "Hey, we noticed that your connecting flight is delayed, which may cause you to miss your next flight home, your outbound flight home. Do you need us to call you and provide assistance?" And there were the two little links there. It was like the old notes that the boys used to pass to the girls back in the day. Do you like me? Circle yes or circle no. I gotta do you like me note. I gotta do you need me note. Do you need me? Click yes or click no. If you're good, click no. If you need assistance, click yes. How fortunate am I? So many people running through the airport just like we were, trying to figure out connections, trying to make sure that they were going to be okay, that they were going to get to their destination, that they weren't going to miss something that was important, that they were going to get home and be able to reunite with family, get back into their comfortable space and get on with the rest of their day, their week. And I had somebody in the background going, "Hey, I see a problem jumped up. Do you need me?" That reminded me of God. He's always there. Do you need me? I see you're struggling. I see there's an obstacle. I see you might need a hand. Mine's always there. I'm here to help you. Do you need me? Yes, circle yes or circle no. I'm just here. I'm just here for you to plug into whenever you need me. Community, people checking in. Everything okay? Me checking in, letting the family know we're going to be a little late, but we're on our way. All is well. Community. Fortunate. That's what I was feeling in all that chaos. And that's mindset. I could have been really, really frustrated. I saw people near tears. I saw people snapping and getting into arguments. There was all kinds of stuff going on because the tension was high. Expectations were not met. Things were not going the way people thought they would. And there were emotional responses to that. And I'm so grateful that in that space, in that moment, the response from me was gratitude and awareness of the gifts in that situation. I was being given new perspectives to share with you guys. I was being shown that I'm growing and that I can be okay when things around me are not quite okay. That's a gift. It's a gift to be able to see yourself moving forward and implementing the things that you're planning, right? It increases your self confidence. It gives you clarity about where you are in your process, right? In those places where you don't quite show up, you just lean in and go, there's a place where I can do some more work. I can firm some things up in this space. But there was a time where a trip through the airport was nothing more than a trip through the airport. But it was so much more for me this time. And that's because of the mindset and because of what I was focusing on as I was going through that process. And we all have that ability. What you focus on is 100% within your control. So if you find yourself being anxious, you find yourself being frustrated, you find yourself being angry, lonely, sad, any of those emotions that sap your energy and move you away from experiencing the joy that belongs to you in this life, change your focus. Figure out where that gifting is and what you can focus on that's going to raise that vibration and get you moving forward again. We all have that ability. At any point in time, you might not be able to change your circumstance, but at any point in time, you can change your focus. You can change how you think about that circumstance. You can change what you allow to sap your resources. I want my resources saturated in joy. I want my resources saturated in the possibilities of life. I want my resources saturated in confidence and resilience and knowing that this too shall pass and that I can get through whatever it is that's coming my way. How do I know that? I've gotten through everything that's came my way so far. And so have you. Everything that this life has thrown at you, you've gotten past it, right? And if you look at it right and allow yourself to see it, you've grown from it. You've experienced things that you didn't even know you were capable of. So change your focus and you change absolutely everything. There's a lot of comments that have come in. Let me catch up with you guys. And then I'm going to share our quote for the day and move over to Brian to hear what he'd like to share on this Focus Friday. Conchita says, fabulous Friday, beautiful people. Thankful for another amazing day. Me too. Had no idea I was going to say all that, Conchita. Uh, but hey, when you lean in and you let go and you let God and you truly intend to be a vessel through which his message flows, you just never know what's going to come up. And I'm more grateful for that than I am anything at this particular season in my life. Lisa says, happy Friday, everyone. Hey, Kelly says, good morning. Kayla says, good morning, sis. Hey, sugar. I'm big sis. When I think about y'all guys, I'm probably more like auntie than sis, right? But I guess since I'm Tiffany's sis, that works. But I'm an old sister to y'all. Lita says, good morning. Good morning, Lita. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, MD Abdur says, Cambria, Frisia, now both are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My mom, Aromatic Vision, says, good morning, everyone. Dr. Marcia says, good morning, Brian and Cassandra. Time to focus. You are absolutely right. It is time to focus. Lita repeated, this too shall pass. Dr. Marcia says, focus on your destination. Sometimes we let the cares of life, disappointments, setbacks, delays, and our desires distract us from our destination. Absolutely. I would have missed if I was focused on all the stuff that was going on around me, if I was focused on the delays, the disappointment and getting home later, having to run through the airport like a crazy person, if those were the things that I focused on, I would have missed so many beautiful lessons. I would have missed so many opportunities to learn and to grow and to improve my perspective on what's going on. I would have missed a huge, huge talking point about how a travel experience is just like our life, right? So, yes, focus on your destination. Sometimes we let the cares of life, disappointments, setbacks, delays, and our desires distract us from our destination. That was from Dr. Marcia. Out of the 4 P's, that pacing period has been my time of greatest growth. I am always forced to deal with reality. Absolutely. The pace period is the one that's most difficult, I think, for us humans. Pruning is difficult because we hold on to what we have, even if it's uncomfortable. It's hard to let go of things. So that pruning period can be very, very difficult. But pacing is hard. That's the period where it's so easy. I think that's where most people give up. You're like, you know what? I've tried this. I've been working, I've been doing, and nothing is changing. We can't see that we're right on the brink of that breakthrough. We can't see that all the work is about to push us through to the other side, and it's grander. There's more for us there than what we're able to imagine if we just keep moving forward. Pacing is hard, but it's there for a reason. That's where you get your strength. That's where those muscles are developed, those skills become your new defaults. That's where you get the things that you need to actually be able to manage that blessing that you've been so fervently praying for. If it just dropped out of the sky on you in that moment when you first asked for it, you may not appreciate it as much, but you certainly may wouldn't have the preparation to be able to manage it. Sometimes the things that we want are the very things that can trip us up because we haven't done that preparation. We haven't gotten rid of those bad habits and pruned, and we haven't paced and used that new way of thinking, those new skills. We haven't used them enough that they're what we default to when life gets hard. We default to our patterns, our old behaviors when life gets hard. And if you haven't worked on those and updated your defaults lately, you may be operating out of your old self. You may be operating out of your trauma. You may be operating out of dysfunction, operating out of fear. But when you're paced, you have the opportunity to replace those things with the very skills that you need in order to be successful. So we have to learn to love that pace period because it's preparing us for greater. And that's the period that, like Conchita says, is often the hardest to deal with. LinkedIn user, I wonder if is that you again, Joy? Say your name. You said very valuable insight to take away. Mindset, change your focus, changes everything. Absolutely. Z says, good morning, not old at all. There is my wonderful cousin Douglas and focusing on the focus. Yes, sir. Focusing on the focus. I love that. Conchita says, lean in, let go, let God. That's a t-shirt, Cassandra. Conchita gonna have me in the t-shirt business before she's done. She's always highlighting for me those little nuggets that should become some sort of a t-shirt or slogan that's available. Dolores Renee Brown Woodard. I love your name. It sounds so regal. Welcome. I don't think I've ever said your name out loud in this space. So I am so glad that you are here and that you are with us. And my prayer is that something is said that lights your soul on fire, that inspires you and motivates you, gives you the clarity that you need to know exactly what it is that you're going for, and then gives and you have the discipline to actually do that work. So welcome, 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 Dolores. Glad to see you here. Hey, Sonia says good morning. Good to be with you again, fam. Kelly says, I just completed my goal again. I did my 100 arm and shoulder stretch today. Again, now my fingers, I have feeling coming back. I can feel my blood circulation in my fingers now. Now that's a testimony. That is a testimony right there. Doing the work and feeling that feeling coming back. I don't think Kelly will mind me saying this because she shares often she had a stroke, and that stroke took away some of the her ability and some of her feeling. I think I can't remember if it's your right or left side now, Kelly. But she's been doing the work. It's been difficult for her to get outside. She's been dealing with, both psychological and physical struggles based on, because of the fact that she had that stroke. But Kelly is an overcomer. Kelly is a victor. Kelly is doing the work every day and calling back her resources, calling back her abilities, doing the work to restore herself so that she can do the things that she's already seeing in her mind. She's doing the work so that she can physically bring those things about. And I could not be prouder. I could not be happier, Kelly. So keep up the good work and keep sharing that testimony. We love hearing it. Conchita says, marketing moment. Buy the book Soar Beyond Limits, on sale now at Amazon. Next day delivery through Prime. Soar, as you guys can see behind me, is my book. Soar is a framework for personal development and growth. The S stands for strengths, identifying your strengths. The O is overcoming limits, which is exactly what we were just talking about with Kelly. The A is achieving goals, and the R is resilience, building a resilient mindset. You can find that on Amazon just by searching on my name, Cassandra Terry, and it was written It's a combination of, different concepts and activities that will help you really lean into each part of SOAR and master those dimensions so that you in turn are mastering your life. You're getting the clarity that you need. You are clear on your goals and what it is you want to accomplish, and you have a roadmap that's going to get you there. So all the planning is done by the time you get through the book, and then you are moving from planning to implementation. That's where the discipline has to come in, and you take the steps to actually do what it is that you desire. So thank you for sharing that, Conchita. SOAR has been out since March. I've had some great feedback on how it's going. Love to hear from you guys as well. As you read it, please share your feedback. You can share with me personally, and I would love to get those Amazon reviews too. That helps to keep it in circulation, allowing more folks to find out about it. Dr. Marcia says, our desires are our greatest force for fulfilling or delaying our destination. Oof. That's a whole mouthful right there. That's a sermon all by itself. Our desires are our greatest force for fulfilling or delaying our destination. Think about that. Do your desires align with what it is that you are purposed to do with your life? We were all born with a purpose. We're not here by accident. Don't care what the journey looked like to get you here, right? I was born to very, very young parents. So I am sure that there was some celebration by the fact that I was coming, but not a whole lot because it just didn't make sense at the time, right? So the destination, the journey to get here, you were still born on purpose. And deep within you is a purpose. There are no accidents. There are no people who are just bouncing around with no reason to be here. You may not be connected with that reason. And getting connected with that reason is so powerful. Once you are clear about who you are and why you're here, now your desires either align with that or they don't. If you're giving in to desires that align with your destination, you're going to get there. You're going to probably blow right past it. You will do more than you ever dreamed that you could. Or are you giving in to desires that delay your destination? Right? Those obstacles, those distractions, the things that are counterproductive to where it is that you're trying to go. Those things, those people, those environments may have been a part of your journey, but you've moved past them now. You've outgrown them now. You have to put those things down and pick up the things, prune them away, and pick up the things that are going to move you in the direction that your life is destined to go. We make our own journeys more difficult when we give in to the desires that are not beneficial. All right. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany said, that's my little baby. Marie, good morning. Tiffany says, call her Renee. Oh, so Dolores is your little baby. Ah, another Theta Alpha Psi in the house. You ladies have shown up and shown out. You have been so supportive since I spoke with you guys last Saturday. That was a wonderful event. I was so glad to do it. Little did I know that the dam was going to open. I didn't know that there would be anything after that hour that we spent together. And every day since then, at least one of you have been here. Most days, multiples. I think yesterday there was 5 of you. So y'all keep showing up, you keep plugging in, and my prayer is that you're taking away something and actually implementing that into your life. Remember, we talked about the 85%. 85% of folks here, they get inspired, they grab hold of something, and then before you know it, they set it aside. They get busy with life and they never implement. And I'm here. This space is created for us to decrease that 85% and grow the 15. We don't want to just talk about it. We want to be about it. We want to get busy taking the actions that are going to move us towards the life that we so desire. Kelly says it's my left side. I thought so, but I wasn't sure, Kelly, and I didn't want to misquote you. Dolores says, thanks. I am from Theta Alpha Psi. Your words of encouragement were what I needed to get mad. Yes, Dolores, don't just get mad, stay mad. Do you have the life that you desire? Are you believing in yourself and your abilities? Are you accomplishing your goals? If not, get mad, get motivated, become accountable, and be disciplined. Get mad so that you, and stay mad. Don't allow a negative thought, a negative comment, a negative environment, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Do not allow those things to stand between you and the life that you desire. Get mad. Get mad. I will continue to encourage you. I'm not talking about being angry. Angry is debilitating, it gets in the way. But when you get mad, you are unstoppable. There's nothing that you can't accomplish. Tiffany says, Dolores, that's my little baby. Call her Renee. You're welcome, Kelly. Um, she says, I started writing in my journal about what I want to visualize. Excellent. Dr. Marcia says your pace is dictated by your desire. It's true because either you're accelerating towards the things that you want to accomplish because that greatest force that she talked about before is moving you forward, or you're giving in to things that are becoming obstacles that are in your way and you're slowing yourself down. So I agree 100%. Our pace is dictated by how we manage our desires. Let's see. Uh, Kelly says, I tried to look up SOAR. It's not letting me pull it up. Just search on my name, Kelly, Cassandra Terry, on Amazon, and it should show up. But it's SOAR, SOAR, SOAR Beyond Limits. Thank you for inviting folks. I see you tagging them away, Kelly. Thank you for that. Conchita says, love your divine downloads this morning, Dr. Marcia Thomas. Much needed food for the soul today. Absolutely. Karen Terry said, speak. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Lita is sharing some hearts. Dawn, good morning to you. I'm glad you are with us. Hey, Z, I see you there. Michi, hey, hey, hey. Lita says, this has been helping me more than you will ever know. Well, thank God for that. That is why we show up and do what we do. Renee says, I've watched it every day, but it was later due to work. But I'm off today, so I'm online this morning. Look at you making space for what you believe is going to move you forward. Focusing on the things that will help you move towards your goals, clarify what those goals are, build a plan to get there. Y'all, we're not what we say, we are what we do. Ask yourself on a regular basis, what am I doing? What am I doing? And is that doing aligning with my goals? Is that doing pushing me forward? Or am I creating obstacles for myself? Am I slowing myself down because I'm giving in to the wrong desires? Talk to yourself, assess yourself on a regular basis. Tiffany says, because we're theta. Hey, Curb and Decatur and Double Good. So, y'all, now we're going the Thetas have their own thing going on as a part of the morning show, and I'm here for every bit of it. Y'all know I'd be trying to find my way in if I wasn't so busy, but I try not to take on anything that I can't give my all to. But I will be whispered in y'all's ears. So let me be honorary until the time is right and I can find my way in. Lita says, "Hey, my president." She said, "Hey, Snugglepuff." So they have their own line names and things for each other. So we may see their name written as one thing, but hear them address each other in another way. And I love the sisterhood. I was in the middle of it all. That is a community of powerful women getting things done, uplifting one another. And I am here for every bit of it. And I am glad that you guys are showing up. I want y'all, when the time is right for you, or and if it really resonates, y'all should join the SOAR community. Tiffany was my first member, your president. She'll have a funny story for you guys about that. I think we actually talked about it as a part of when I was there with you guys a week ago. So join the SOAR Collective. I would love to have y'all there to bring all of this energy in and get to know some other women who are taking big steps in their life to accomplish what they have laid out. Kelly says, you keep me grounded in that why. I watch you every day. And I see you. You don't just watch, you share, you invite everyone in. You are one of the most engaged participants that I have. And my prayer is that engagement, that all that energy that you are pouring in is expanding your life, is giving you new hope, is allowing you, helping you to continue to move forward. That's what it's all about. And I am very, very grateful for you, Kelly. All right, let's see. I think Camille is here. Hey, hey, hey. Is there anybody? My cousin Jackie, I see you out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My daughter Sierra. Hey, baby. Don't bring that little grandson. I saw all the stuff he was doing. I gotta recharge my battery before I take him on. He was too full of energy while I was gone. But tell him Granny said, hey. Let's see. I think I've acknowledged everyone. Let me check one. Oh, Erskine. Hey, Erskine. It's good to see you. Michael, welcome, welcome, welcome. Michelle and Digital Profit Vibes. Welcome, everyone. I am glad that you are all here. We have been talking for quite a while. Hey, cuz, and I have not even shared with you guys our quote for today. So let me do that. And then, Brian, I'm going to be quiet because I have said 12 mouthfuls at this point. So I want to bring you into the conversation, but let me bring up our quote first. Let's see. What you focus on with your mind, you manifest in your life. Anonymous. Somebody said it. Wasn't me. It was kind of me, but I don't. I like to be. I read so much. I go through so many newsletters and things that are about mindset and leadership and goal setting. Read lots of books, listen to a lot of things. So I'm always pouring it in, and I love to give credit where credit is due. So sometimes I think I thought I said something, but I'm not always true. I'm not always sure if I didn't pull it from somewhere else. So sometimes I know it's me. Some when I don't, I'll just say anonymous. But what you focus on with your mind, you manifest in your life. Brian, that there's a lot that could be said about that. I could go on for another 20 minutes, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna mute and have you come in and share your thoughts on this Focus Friday.
Hey, Grand Rising. Fantastic day. This is a packed space this morning. This is amazing. I love to see all these new people and hearing all these different comments. And man, it's awesome. I love it. I am coming to you live and direct from my oldest daughter's bedroom. My youngest daughter would not let me move today. So I'm moving a little bit slow. And it's really coincidental, right, that this happened on Focus Friday because all week I've been trying to focus on work, 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 work. And it seems as though I've had a little special friend there saying, hey, Dad, not today, buddy, especially yesterday, all day yesterday, every 5 minutes. And I kept asking her, I said, you just don't want me to get any work done today, do you? She said, you're not working today. You're working with me. So we stopped and she said something so funny and it made my day. I had to record it in my notes. She said, Dad, I want some cocoa this morning. I said, okay, you want some cocoa? All right. So we went in the kitchen, we got some cocoa out, and she was getting ready to mix it up herself. And I said, nah. I said, don't want you to let me help you with that. So we started mixing it up. She said, Dad, you're making a bigger mess than I am. I started laughing. And then she said, I said, hey, isn't that supposed to be heated up? Aren't you supposed to warm that water? She said, that's the way you do it. This is how I do it, and it tastes great. I said, oh, okay then, little Miss Boss Lady. But she was focused. She knew what she wanted, right? She knew what she wanted, and she knew who was going to be right there to make sure that she got it. When we talk about focus, when I think about focus, I used to think that focus was getting what I wanted, and it just It never dawned on me until I had an awakening. I had an awakening about 16 years ago, and everything's been different ever since. The things that we want in our lives, we didn't come up with that stuff. You didn't come up with what you wanted. You don't even know where you came from. You don't know where you're going. You're here. Your brain is not a creation station. You're not coming up with any of this stuff that you say that you want. Those desires that we talk about, Dr. Marcia mentioned it. Our desires are our biggest distraction because we think that we have orchestrated, constructed, built those desires. And that's not true. It's just not true. My greatest accomplishment in life was realized when it occurred to me that everything that I'm doing is not of my own volition, it's from God. He directed me on the path that I'm on. He told me what he wanted to do. When you realize that your desires are not of your own making, then when the distractions come, quote unquote, like they have for me all week, like they are right now with somebody punching me in my face, it's not a distraction, right? Your focus is going where God wants your focus to go. But you have to see it that way, right? The reason people flip out and start acting crazy, I used to tell my kids all the time, you got to do your homework. Especially the older, I used to tell that all the time. I'm like, man, you got to do your homework. It's like, I did my homework. I said, nah, you got to do your homework. What do you want? Where you going? Who's going to help you get there? What vehicle are you going to use to make that happen? We get so frustrated in life that we don't do our homework. And then when the distraction comes, you want to start rushing. You want to start hurrying and making something happen, and you're missing out on what God wants for you. Yesterday, I got absolutely, and I mean absolutely nothing done. Nothing got accomplished yesterday other than a big cocoa mess and a whole bunch of extra sweet treats that nobody was supposed to have. That's what got accomplished yesterday. But I was right where I was supposed to be. I was doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing. My focus was on my daughter. It was on her when she came in and decided, Dad, I need your energy today. If you keep coming in every 5 minutes, she's not 3 anymore. She'll be 7. So when she took time out of her day to make her day about my day, that was where my focus was supposed to be yesterday. Not on work, not on money, not on empire building, not on cutting grass, not on chopping down trees, not on anything but that one precious gift that I was given 7 years ago. And that's all we did. I focused on her and I wasn't mad. I'm not mad now. My arm is numb, but I'm not mad. I don't have use of my right arm, but I'm not mad. I'll get it back. It's tingling, feel like it's about to fall off, but it'll come back. But my focus was on this little girl. And I feel so obligated to share that with everyone. We're not in control of this life. If you think you are, you're mistaken and you're going to miss out. You know, you said something earlier, this too shall pass. Don't worry about it passing so much as being able to appreciate what's happening while you're going through it. Yeah, it will pass, but you might miss something that you needed because you're rushing to get through it. Don't rush it. Focus on where you are and what you're doing right now. If you've done your homework, then you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to miss this or oh, I'm going to miss that. You know, oftentimes my dad was a preacher and we go to church and I used to ask him after church all the time. I said, Dad, I heard you up there preaching this morning. I said, but how do you pray? He looked at me. He said, well, when you pray, you should pray out of thanksgiving. And I'm tingling. I'm getting tingles. I feel like, oh, all this energy. I felt my dad right then. You got to pray out of thanksgiving. We pray out of need and desire because we haven't done our homework. You asking out of fear because you think you're not going to get something. But when you pray out of thanksgiving, you're certain that God has your best intention in mind, and you're certain that you're going to do what he tells you to do to get what he has for you. If you waking up every day, oh, can you give me this? Oh, can you give me that? My daughter didn't get up in the morning and say, Dad, can I have some breakfast? She said, Dad, I'm hungry. Because I know this guy is going to feed me. No question. He's going to feed me. Dad, she doesn't say, Dad, can you get up and can you make me some food? Can we go get something to eat? She looks at me and she said, Dad, I'm hungry. And that's really saying, do your job, old man. Go in there, make some food and bring it back. And that's what our Father is to us. You don't have to go to him asking. You can just say, thank you. She want to say thank you. She's just 7 and she thinks she in charge, so she doesn't get thank you out all the time. She just tells me what she wants. But we're older. We've seen a few more things, and we know to talk to our Creator in a sense of humility and, like you said, gratitude, right, for what's already done. Nothing is new under the sun. You have everything you need inside you to do the things you want to do, but you have to realize it's not about you. The things that you desire, they're not yours. They're to get something accomplished, something that's way bigger than you, something you could never fully fathom. When you focus on what God wants for you, everything else starts to just blend in. He'll send you what you need. He'll send you the person. He'll send you the resources. He'll send you the insight. Focus on being what God wants you to be. I keep sounding like a preacher in my old age. Focus on what God wants you to be, and everything else it'll line up for you. I promise.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I love that. Lisa says Brian is such a great girl dad. Always love the lessons you give to your children. Reminds me of my dad. I concur. I agree. Definitely a great girl dad, a great dad, a great example of focus. There are times when you go all in on work. There are times when you go all in on your children, your family. There's times where you're going to go all in on this next great project. All of those things are all going on at the same time. But when we can carve out time and dedicate that time to our children, just imagine what that does for them. That says I'm important. That says I matter. That says my dad cares about me so much that he's going to put down the laptop. He's going to stop doing the stuff that he enjoys doing. And I am the thing that he enjoys doing the most, spending time with me. Children who have that type of a foundation are blessed beyond measure because everything that they do and the expectations that they have of the world and future relationships is set at such a high level, and what where we believe and what we believe we're capable of, deserving of, it sets the tone about how we go about living our lives. So imagine somebody talking to Bree any kind of way, right? She's just not going to stand for it because she has the example of what it is to be treated well, what it is to be respected, what it is to be loved, what it is to be heard, what it is to be made a priority. So when folks show up less than that, they're not going to speak a language that she can even comprehend. They won't fit. The energies won't align. So we set our children up to have amazing lives or not by the examples and the experiences that they have with us. So when we make them a priority, we're doing so much more than just playing, so much more than hanging out or having a conversation. We're setting them up on what relationship can be and how they can, what expectations they should have in their relationships. So yeah, that pouring in those examples are absolutely amazing. Conchita says, excellent personal share, Brian. That is in alignment with the book written by Rick Warren, Created to Dream. The 6 phrases God used to grow your faith. It's about understanding the process God used to prepare us. Dr. Marcia says, powerful, authentic example of focus, knowing what truly matters, and embracing the duty of facilitating your best gifts in life is the highest form of focus. Showing up the way God is prompting you, um, is prompting you elude many. Yeah, a lot of people don't do it. You are deserving of admiration and affirmation. I celebrate you every time you speak. Take all that in, Brian. Take it all in. What you're doing, what you say, how you're doing it, how you're saying it is not falling short on those that are hearing. They are appreciating and understanding and seeing the example of how to be a parentpreneur. A lot of us are in that space. Not only are we building businesses or full-time employees somewhere, or going after that big dream, trying to create that big idea, we are raising children, we are creating family, and it is easy to not give enough focus to them at times. We take what's closest to us for granted. We take the things that are around us all the time, the people that are around us all the time. It's easy to take those things for granted and not pour in and give what they deserve. So taking that space and showing up. My kid is 21, and it's so funny. I was walking in my bathroom this morning, and I was remember tomorrow morning at bright and early, like 8 a.m. We're a part of a Saturday run club, and it's me and him and his dad and his sister, my son-in-law, and my little 5-year-old granddaughter. We started this run club a couple of weeks ago, and after that, me and my son went for a walk, an early morning walk before my day started, or between meetings on Monday. And he was like, "Mom, we need to do this again." And that was playing in my head as I was walking, and I was thinking, how fortunate am I to have a son who's about to be 21 in December who wants to spend time with me. He wants to have that time where just he and I go for a walk and get a little exercise in early in our day. So shame on me if I don't create that space, a space for us to talk, a space for us to connect, a space for us to just be together as mom and son, focused on that relationship and let whatever comes up come out. It's a blessing. And it literally rang in my ears this morning. So it's not an accident, Brian, that you're sharing what you're sharing, because I have to make sure that because my day starts so early, um, if I don't build in that time, then I'm going to work and he's going to work. And by the time he comes back from all his stuff, it's late in the evening. So I have to be purposeful. I have to be focused to create that time for me and him to continue to hang out. I don't know when the missus is going to show up and there's going to be another woman in his life that's his priority. And when I tell you that that's going to be his priority, I mean that. I intend to be the world's best mother in law, just like I'm the world's best granny, because I know what it is to have a wonderful, uplifting, loving mother in law that treats you like she gave birth to you herself. And I know where I've spoiled the boy and where that wife of his may have a little trouble. And so I intend on supporting and loving on her in every way possible. So when she comes along, I'm second fiddle at best. His focus belongs to her. And it's my job, if he doesn't realize that and he's trying to give me too much, instead of me indulging in that, it's my responsibility as his mom to say, "Hey, son, as much as I love the attention, it belongs to her now." And sometimes the three of us will do stuff together, or the four of us with dad. Sometimes me and you will still have our time, but your priority is your home. Your priority is your wife. Leave and cleave and build that family, and I'm going to be here to support you guys. But I'm no longer the number one woman in your life. I look forward to that day. I look forward to being able to pour that energy into him and help him make that transition so that he can be the best husband that he can be. I'm already visualizing and I already see my place, and it is not right next to him. That belongs to her, right? I've had that example, and I can now see myself as that one day. What we visualize and how we think about things. We talked about transitions a couple of weeks ago. That will be a transition. Visualize your transitions with positivity. Focus on what you can get and how you can make that experience as good as possible. Focus and visualization is powerful stuff. I already see it The young lady just have to show up and take her rightful place when the time is right. And she is going to fall into a loving, supportive environment that's not going to always take the boys side just because I gave birth to him, and it's going to help her in any way that I possibly can. It's already written. It's already visualized. It just has time just has to happen for the vision to come true. Bree is going to take the world by storm. And she's not going to take any stuff off of anybody. If you don't show up and meet her where she is, you're going to get left behind. There's not going to be room for disrespect and none of that, because she's been taught her value and the power of who she is, right? We all have that opportunity to pass that on to the young people in our lives, not just by words, but by our actions. Absolutely. What we focus on with our minds, we manifest in our lives. Khadijah says, "You are blessed, Cassandra. If he values that time at 21, it will continue. My 44-year-old married son has to have his me time at least once a month. And his wife is the same. She is like the daughter I never had. Love her." It's beautiful. Our families expand and grow, and they get augmented in different ways. And our mindset during that space helps them. It's kind of taking me back to what you said earlier about our desires, Dr. Marcia. They're either moving us towards or they're holding us back from the life that we are trying to create, right? Those desires, they're powerful. What are you desiring in your life? What are you desiring for those around you? How are you intending to show up? It all matters. Catherine says, "Good morning, everyone. Some of the things y'all are speaking about, I was just telling my daughter." I love that. That's divine timing, Catherine. That's confirmation for you. Let me jump in quickly because I have been, I don't know, I can't say I missed you guys because I was with you every day while I was gone, but I guess I just missed my space. But I have been very verbose today. So we are going to wrap this thing up so I can get to work on to the rest of my day and you all can do the same. But man, am I grateful for you and all the engagement we've had up to this point. I think I have said hello to everyone. Marie Ryerson, I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to call your name one more time just in case I missed it earlier. And Arleando, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you there as well. We are going to talk about 5 things that you can do to help expand your focus through visualization. Our topic for today is visualization improves focus. And I just gave a rant about how my visualization is helping me focus on what is to come for my son one day. So we want to start with a daily goal alignment practice. Before you start to do, I want to encourage you to think. Before you do, think. And that to do list that you have, the things that you intend to do with your day to day, you have to ask yourself, do they align with the goals that I have for myself? If they don't, why are they even on the list? Do they belong to somebody else? Should they just be scratched off altogether? But make sure that you are aligning your actions for today, the things that you are going to focus on today, that they align with your goals. Everything else is distraction. Let those things fall away or come back to them at a later time when they're more relevant. But right now, focus on the things that are going to move you towards your goals, and you can't go wrong. So every day before you get started, think, prioritize, and then do. This one I really like, and I'll explain. Your flow state. Have you ever said to yourself, "Man, I'm in the flow. I'm just going," and I feel like that all the time with you guys. I am in my element. I am in my moment. Things are just flowing. They are what they need to be, and I'm just getting it done. I'm crushing the day, right? Do you ever feel like that? That you're just in the flow? I want you to start thinking about that. What are you doing? Where are you? Who are you with? What are the types of activities that you get involved in that gets you to that state of flow where you're just on it? You're just operating on all cylinders and stuff is just falling into place. That can be a clue for you about your destiny, about your destination, about your purpose. Where does flow happen for you? Y'all see it every day with me. This is my space. This is my thing. Sometimes I'm late doing other things because I get on my rants here. But what is bubbling up in my spirit has to come out of my mouth. And I take the time and I lean in and I let that be. I let it happen the way it's going to happen. I am flowing. I'm not reading from a teleprompter. I'm not, I don't have this predetermined speech. You guys see what's predetermined because it's been written, some steps and a quote, and everything else is what flows because I'm operating in my purpose. If you can find where you flow, you are in essence identifying a chunk of your purpose. So think to yourself, when do I feel like I'm just winning? I'm on it. I'm in my element. Think about that and see what comes up for you and then start to think about how that might point you towards your purpose. Task chunking is just a way to say breaking down big goals, big tasks into those actionable steps and taking it one chunk at a time. That's when we're getting back to, really being focused on each activity, giving those our attention, doing them to the best of our ability, and then moving on to the next one chunk at a time instead of trying to eat the whole elephant. And then there's the 2-minute rule implementation. Anything that's on your list that you can knock out in just a couple of minutes, do it. Don't procrastinate. Don't hold it on because before you know it, you got 50 things on the list that you could have done in 2 minutes. And now you've got a long list that's going to take you forever to get through. You get overwhelmed. So those little things as they crop up, if they're not distractions, if they actually align with your goals, go ahead and knock those little things out so that you're done. I'm about to sneeze. So that you're done with them and you're not just piling up a list of things that could have already been accomplished. So the 2-minute rule, ask yourself, is this something I can knock out quickly? If the answer is yes, just do it. And in doing so, you lessen and lessen and lessen the opportunity for procrastination and building frustration because the list is so very long. And then lastly, lean into the power of that little word, into the O, no. That's one for me, guys. No is still uncomfortable. Makes me a little upset in the tummy, stresses me out a little bit. I was raised, I grew up, I taught myself as a people pleaser to say yes. And I have spent a good portion of my adult life undoing that teaching and that mindset because saying no is super important if you're going to be focused. If you have a goal in mind and you have created your plan to accomplish that goal, everything that you're saying yes to is should be aligning with that goal. It should be aligning with what you're working towards. It should be aligning with your purpose. And if it doesn't, it's a no. It's a no. Maybe it's a no in the form of not right now. Maybe it's a no, the timing is just not right. It's a great idea, but it's not the right idea for me and where I'm going. But no is a complete sentence all by itself. Get comfortable saying no because in doing so, you're respecting your boundaries, you're staying on task and focused with the things that are important to you. So those are our 5 tips for the day. The daily goal alignment, think before you do, make sure that you're putting your energy into activities that are going to take you where it is you want to go. Identify your flow state. What are you doing when you're most with it, when you're just getting things done and it feels easy? You're just in the flow. It's a beautiful place. What are you doing in that? That'll help you find your purpose. Task chunking, break those tasks down into small, manageable steps so that you don't get overwhelmed and you are consistently progressing towards your goals. Implement the 2-minute rule. If it's something that you can knock out quickly, get in the habit of just doing it. Don't even let it hit your to-do list. It's already to done. and lean into the power of no. Your yeses are very, very precious. Protect them. They are a gift. If they don't align with the things that you are trying to accomplish, then you're saying yes to distractions and you're slowing down your own process. All right. So those are our 5 steps for today. For we will get those out to the SOAR Collective before the day is up. Hey, Denise. Denise says, number 1, daily goal alignment practice. And she gave that a thumbs up. Dr. Marcia says, excellent points of identifying flow. Your triggers are important. Exactly. Yes. And Conchita says, today just feels like an extra special day. Everyone enjoy to the fullest as a divine gift. Absolutely. I am so grateful for each and every one of y'all. We are wrapping up our week. We will be back here Tuesday morning at 7:15 a.m. Central for Transformation Tuesday. The latest version of my newsletter will go out tomorrow. The Voice Within Wins on LinkedIn, so you guys can look for that. I'll wrap up our discussions around visualization with tomorrow's newsletter. And join us. Join us. We talked about the source score yesterday. 2 of you guys completed your assessments. So part of what I'll do before the day is over is to reach out to you so that we can schedule your session to go over your source score and figure out how you can use that to start to advance your personal development and growth. I think we have done what we came to do. You are welcome, Kelly. You are very, very welcome. And Conchita, I agree. Today does feel extra special. And listen, it is yours to take. Whatever success looks like for you, whatever it is that you want to accomplish with your life, you have everything that you need to get that done. It's yours for the taking. Go get it. Have a blessed rest of your week and weekend. And I will see you guys back here on Tuesday. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you.